The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Long before the sects divided, there was the enveloping darkness. It was in this dark humanity learned to trust the light, to run from shadows, and most importantly, to fear.
Brutality and superstition walked hand in hand in this dark time, but also hope. Hope that the heroes of this age could hold back the monsters and illuminate the path through the shadows.
The children of Cain are no different. Some run from the shadows, some turn to the light, and some become the monsters of legend passed down from one hearth to another.
Their story is one of loss, one of struggle, and one of death. For what can survive in the wake of those that cannot die?
This is what it means to be a myth made flesh. This is what it means to be a vampire in the Dark Ages.
Welcome to our Vampire Dark Ages stream. We here at McStabber Studios understand that some of the subjects that come up during this chronicle are problematic by modern standards. Our goal is to handle these kinds of situations in a manner that does not directly or indirectly glorify these kinds of actions. While we understand that we are playing in a world of monsters, that does not mean we must be the monsters ourselves. Please also be aware, none of our cast are experts in history. That means there will be some deviations between the real world timeline and the vampiric world. You can go ahead and chalk that up to the Cainite influence on the mortals around them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Vampire Dark Ages Glimpses of History. I am the storyteller, I think, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I'll be playing Elena Thorndaughter of Clan Lasombra.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him, and I will be playing Brother Miguel of the Gangrel.
I'm Gina Vanish, and I think I'm playing Peregrine McSullivan, who's an Assamite playing a Toreador.
Hello, I'm Maddox, and I'm playing Snatcher of Clan Nosferatu.
Hi everybody, I'm the Ravnos Archon, and I'll be playing Agustin de la Cruz of Clan Lasombra as well.
So, the year is 1250. Constantinople has fallen. I bring that up because it may or may not come up again this episode. We'll see. You are in Belgrade, your city. You've been dealing with, well, let's go through the list, shall we? Masonic Voice Inquisitor. For those that don't know, that's a mage who's an inquisitor.
Yep, asshole number one.
Mm-hmm. You have somebody claiming your city is theirs.
Asshole number two.
That is Zemitzi. And he has the assistance of the child of Basilio the Elder, who is Prince of Sofia, who is a Lasombra, who has beef with Mancado, who is two of these players' sires.
Asshole number three. That's the Holy Trinity right there.
And last episode, what was going to be a minor little event of stopping a particular mugging turned out to reveal a bit more than that, because the one behind it, for some reason, I'm not sure they understand why at this point, the one behind it is the Lasombra we just mentioned. Using all these players found out about abyss mysticism. Well, the players knew. The characters, I got a first-hand example. of abyss mysticism because this La Sombra is using it. Sent his shadowed servants to him. As we're opening up tonight after a rather grim premonition that was sent, a portent of fortunes that predicts eyes from the shadow ambushing. We're actually opening up Augustine and Snatcher. I think, Augustine, you found Snatcher in the hallway. He was supposed to go meet with Gwen for a minute, but you caught him before he could make it to see Gwen. I turn it over to you two.
Snatcher, I don't, before you hurry off, I have a favor to ask of you if I could, and I'm going to try to pull him into a more secure kind of alcove of ours.
Yeah, this is your labyrinth, made by Zelios, no less. It's all secure-ish.
And I'll even use some of the shadows to hide us even further.
What do you need?
Snatcher, I want to know. I want you to know that these last few decades together, I've come to trust you, and I hope that the trade route flows both ways. And so it is not lightly that I ask you to use some of your abilities, some of your rats perhaps, or something that can fly, to keep watch over Mario. I have introduced him to you as my squire, as my attendant, my valet, my ghoul. Snatcher, he is my son. He is the last bit of life I have to remind me of what I was before. You can see the weight that I am asking you to bear.
And just to keep an eye on him, nothing more.
The sooner we know if he is the one being targeted, the sooner I can act. So yes, protection, observation, these are the trades that you excel at.
I should be able to handle that. I'm not as good with flying animals, but I can try.
If there was ever a time to start getting good, it is now.
Storyteller, I'd like to do a little bit of perception empathy for this. Is he actually shaken up, or is he playing me?
Okay, so you're going to roll perception empathy.
How dare you?
Are you trying to hide anything at all, Augustine?
No, not at all.
Okay, so we will just have you roll perception empathy against difficulty 6, and I will give you information based on your successes. It's not an opposed roll.
I told him the truth.
Fucking shit.
Excellent.
That would be a botch.
Nope, he's playing you. Completely playing you.
That is a 1 canceling out the only success I rolled.
He is totally playing you.
I can do my best.
I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Not to say that you wouldn't, but might we agree on this being an exchange as a favor sometime in the future?
Of course.
I'll even hold out my hand on that.
Yeah, I shake it. Now, the moment I shake your hand, I'll drop the shadows.
It's always unsettling how cold your abilities are. I can't feel cold, but I can feel that.
Yeah. My friend, you should see some of the new things that I can do.
Hopefully directed somewhere else.
Of course.
But I will keep an eye on your son as best I can.
I appreciate everything that you are doing. I'll give him one last look, and then I'll turn and walk.
And oddly enough, Snatcher is still gonna get a couple birds to watch his son.
Okay. So as he walks away, Snatcher, you head to go find Gwen, and you find Gwen in one of the chambers that she normally uses. She is not dressed as you'd expect her. She's actually in fighting leathers, preparing to head to your own little training room, I guess we'll call it.
I have to admit, I've always found the idea of leather for combat rather effective, but leather for secrecy to be a bit counterproductive. Leather creaks.
Not if you well oil it.
I'm not an armorer. You would have to talk that over with Miguel. I know nothing about armor or
No, I'm telling
leather.
you. Well, if you are going to wear the leather to sneak around, you should well oil it so that it is soft and it doesn't creak. When it starts to creak and crack, it means you haven't maintained the leather.
What did you want to talk with me about, Peregrine?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm doing a lot of things at the same time. Right, orphans.
I am familiar.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. So, Elena and I have done this whole widows, orphans kind of thing. So we're teaching the orphans to try and get trade and such. At the same time, it's like rent a grandma, so they can actually have some kind of effect of raising the next generation. Here's the thing. I am aware of a certain kind of trade that you happen to have been in several times over and have a knack for. Do I have to spell it out?
I find it's decent for communication if it's direct.
Fine. So I know that there are some of the orphans that we have that are good tradespersons for spying and thieving and all that. Which is what you do. I was wondering if you could turn around and teach them how to hang around the docks as well as a bit of the places of pleasure, and just fiddle about through by the gates and such, to kind of start listening and tuning in and hearing little bits and pieces and such, and then kind of report them back to you. Working a spy network from the ground up, training them to be that way, if possible.
The docks and brothel shouldn't be a problem. By the gates, unfortunately, Augustine has his guards rather well trained, and that would be the area where they might come up against resistance. So it would need to be those who have a little more training, as it were.
Oh, well, being that Augustine's just a lovable scamp as he is, he could understand other people wanting to be scamps as well. Eh?
Yes, he could. The guards under him, I'm not so certain about.
What if we talked to Augustine to maybe let a few of the wee scamps scamper about to become better scampers than the scamps that we know now?
I would also say that only certain types should hang around the brothels, because some that are old enough to understand may get distracted.
Caught up in it. I agree. I was thinking more of the girls that could listen in learn a bit, but not actually get into it, if you know what I mean.
I believe that is possible. I'm finding it harder and harder to personally work with mortals, but I have quite a few who would be willing to teach, including William, my oldest ghoul.
That would be perfect.
He very much came up in that life, more so than I even did. He's a better thief than me.
Satan so.
Very much so.
I'm
good. He is far better.
Well, I'm thinking if you do a whole training system, being you're at the top and you set expectations, kind of like what we do at the trade center. Expectations, they meet them, they pass, and they move on. So if we could build a network for you with all of the little scamps scamping about, they can build up more of a network. Then I can use part of that information to then put it and feed it into the scryers. And with the criers, they can then pass on different information all over the place.
It's more information, which I will never turn down.
Aye, neither will I.
I think we may just be able to also get them to recognize when they see rats and maybe have a network where they intermingle. Rats accompanying children, of course, and then scurrying off once they pass the information.
That's fair. It gives them that understanding of how to work within a system. Because I don't think we're going to be here for for thousands of years. So
let us hope not.
So if we can work the system now, if we go on to a new city, we can turn around and reestablish everything because we already worked out all the kinks.
That seems rather doable. I can't promise it will be perfect. I am not one for organization.
Snatcher, it's not about being perfect on this. It is at least starting the goal and seeing where it leads to. Nothing's perfect. Perfect is an illusion.
Be sure not to catch the rest of the city's canites hearing you say that, otherwise the Toreador bit will be given away quickly.
Oh, I'm always a Toreador. Whatever are you talking about? My art is perfect. I am not perfect.
Just be careful. Humility seems to be something that is purged from their blood when they are turned.
I'm overly aware of that one. It's very difficult. I've had to learn how to do what they're calling makeup and try to put all of this stuff on my face. You know how hard it is to wake up and then sit in front of a mirror for about half an hour to try and smear the stuff all over? I look like a painted, painted lady, and I'm not even for that.
I suppose it's easier since you still have a reflection, unlike Elena.
Oh, that was a low blow, and I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that to her.
I didn't. I said it to you.
I know, fair enough. Damn. Sorry if she's listening. You never know with them.
Oh, yes.
Everywhere.
Sorry, of course. Forgive me, Night Mistress. Anyways.
Wait, you're calling the Night Mistress now? Oh, my.
What else would you call her?
Elena. I've known her for so long, to be honest. I know her when she was a ghoul. So for me, it's like, it's Elena. Well, I mean, I called her Ogul back in the day, but it's Elena.
Well, she's better than her sire, that much is certain.
I am so glad I didn't have to deal with him at all.
Be thankful you were a godless heathen.
Oh, no. I'm not a godless heathen. I just have way too many gods for their pompous asses. They have to deal with one. I've got a backup system.
I did inform you all that I ghouled the elderly woman that the mob was attacking.
No, I didn't know. You saved her, I'm glad.
Yes, she's actually taken to that very well.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad that you saved her, and I appreciate it.
And she's been speaking to my rats.
She can do it. Okay. Well, that's excellent.
Only in minimal sense, but She seemed to understand from a mysticism point of view.
Yeah. No, she was a really good apothecary that I've referred to a lot. So I appreciate you saving her on that.
Given enough time, I think she could be an excellent embrace candidate.
That's possible. Are you thinking for your own clan or for others?
My own.
That's fair. I'd rather ask than assume.
To be frank with you, Peregrine, many of my ghouls, I do not plan to be ghouls forever.
That's fair.
The girl from the village that the werewolves resided in is already fairly close, in my opinion, to deserving a rise in power.
Yeah, she deserves it. She's been working the hardest.
She was a guide back before I ever knew anything about this land.
That's fair. Well, I've got a couple of candidates already set up. Do you want me to send them to your head ghoul tonight? I can do it. It's not a problem.
Tonight should work. He moves around the city, but we have designated points that he goes and stays for a while in case I need to meet with him, so we can send them to one of those.
Perfect. Just let me know, because I'll send a missive over to Grandma Ferris, and she'll set up the weak kids over to Yagu. And then they'll do we call it little night adventures and night quests, making it a little fun for them like it's a game.
Better than making it like a crusade.
I think they'd learn after the first two.
One step at a time. But yes, I
can't brainwash them all.
I can easily do my best to educate the youth.
I appreciate it.
The youth that won't take to regular education.
No, I'll take care of the rest. You've got skills that I'm not very good at, so I'd rather them learn from an expert.
The first thing they will learn is how to run away, because it is the thing that you must know if you are to not be caught.
Valid. Okay. Well, I will finish what I'm doing. I'll send the missive over, and I'll have them sent to your guy.
Grand.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
I'll hold my hand out to shake yours as well.
Always.
It's very obvious that is Snatcher's way of saying, all right, we've sealed the deal.
And as Gwen does finger guns in a time well before finger guns existed.
Crossbows! Finger crossbows! Pew, pew, pew!
Hand crossbows. Got it.
Hand crossbows.
As she heads off because she has a meeting with another member of the coterie. We flash over to Elena. Elena has arranged to meet with Miguel in the war room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to flash over to Miguel and Elena in the war room.
Thank you, Ms. Miguel, for coming to see me. Could you potentially sniff out the poison?
I'm still learning my how to interpret things with my new abilities. Some things are at times overwhelming, but it is certainly something that I am better at sniffing out now than I was.
Elena has actually taken some of the full bottle that she had and transferred it to the empty bottle that she had. It's a small portion of the poison. And she hands that very partially filled bottle over to Miguel. You can use that to acclimate to the scent, so you will recognize it. It is only a very small portion.
If you don't mind, I can smell it better in my form.
Please.
And he will shift slowly into a wolf, does not get hungrier.
And Elena actually pops open the cork on the bottle.
And he kind of tentatively sniffs it at first before getting to kind of get how the scent mixes with the room.
Mm-hmm.
Before getting in close to get a full scent of just the smell itself.
Okay, I'm going to have you make two different rolls for this one.
All right.
first one, I'm going to have you roll perception investigation.
Okay. Does the attentive?
Yes,
I'll
I'll let you have that. And because you're in wolf form and you have heightened senses, what would be a rather difficult thing, I'm going to drop your difficulty all the way down to 4.
Good, because I got 1 thanks to the number of ones I rolled.
Man, this is not a good night to be rolling, people. You might want to, be careful. Okay, and then give me perception awareness. Difficulty on this one, because it's not purely dealing with the scent, I'm going to actually bump it up to 5. Ooh.
This one I did better. So that is 5 successes.
Good. So as you're sniffing it, I'm combining the two together and thinking about how much you get from it. There's no hint of wine in it. You don't get the scent of grapes at all from it. For actually what it is, you smell at least traces of hemlock. Traces. But there's something else in it. There's a definite byproduct of blood mixed with it. And the third thing, you've never smelled its like before. It's slightly, trying to describe it. It is blood-like, but it doesn't smell like any blood you've ever smelled before. Stronger, maybe more potent, more pungent. It's just a bare overtone just hiding in there somewhere.
How common is hemlock in its use? Is it?
I mean, it grows wild. So.
And it's been known a long time for what it does.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there would be any vendors that, is it something that's common that vendors have, or is there only one or two?
From an Assamite, if it came from Alamut, or Almut, that's not where the hemlock would grow. They would be importing it there to make it.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is there a source in the city?
Medical providers would likely have it because it has a sedative effect in small doses, just out of character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you could find some even in this castle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll shift back into human form, and there's a scent there that I'm not quite placing. There's hemlock, blood, and something else. It's not quite. It is similar to blood, but yet there's a distinct scent that doesn't mix with it.
All right. She closes. She puts the cork back in the bottle. You can keep this bottle in case you need to compare scents on things. Because I have the rest I have secured away. I'm not surprised that it would be something unusual. It is, from what Gwen has told me, it is crafted by the blood sorcerers of the Assamites. So, the fact it uses hemlock, though, that's interesting. That does not grow in the Middle East. They are importing. You can see her mind kind of working through the trade on that. Yeah. But at the same time, but yes, please, if you can sniff around in your surveillance of the city, because I'm sure you surveil, if you happen to get a whiff of it, let us all know so we can go and investigate.
I will. I'll probably start with the any vendors or medical suppliers that will hold hemlock to see if I can find another son. You had mentioned something about one of your ghouls, priests.
Yes.
As an advisor for.
Yes.
I believe.
I actually, when the incident happened in the religious district, Gwen took some of the ones that could be injured but convalesced. And some of them she decided to ghoul. Well, I took one from her because he was a ostracized priest from your church. The bishop had basically ruined his reputation and kicked him out, along with everyone else that was associated with you by any proximity. He has a lot of potential, Miguel. He is true to the faith, but he also, I sense an underlying ambition in him. Like if basically he fully understands that the Lord helps those who help themselves. So I wish to use that to my advantage and have him in place close to the royalty here, especially the king, as a religious advisor from the Orthodox chapel. I'm certain there are other priests that can do service and such at the chapel itself. But I wanted to discuss that with you because I didn't want you to think that I am trying to take over your church or your interests. I noted as I was visiting with her, with Gwen, as she was convalescing, that this one just had that spark.
I do thank you for coming to me about this. If that is what he wishes, and that is how he is looking to fulfill the Lord's work, then I am fully behind this.
Excellent. I know that Gwen and I also have come up with some ideas to help not just those who may have lost their husbands or male head of household during that incident, but those who have dealt with that loss throughout the city at any recent point, that we are creating a widow's home of sorts for widows and their children. And it will be multi-generational. There will be from young mothers all the way up to grandmothers there that need that type of support. The plan is to educate them in trades and skills that will let them be productive in society. So that if they may not have anything of their own now, they have the potential to have something of their own.
Of course, it is a fine idea. I imagine while I have little compared to what you can contribute, I can also give some finances.
Excellent.
To help with this.
And it may even be that some are interested in joining the clergy. So we will refer them to your associates at the church if that's the case.
Yep. Theirs is a life of service.
Of course.
So of course they can, even if not with aid with religious trading, there are other skills that they can help convey. Absolutely.
If you can have your sister, your ghoul, compile a list of capabilities of your people so that way we know who can be utilized as training resources. I think that would be incredibly beneficial. Financially, I've got it covered, but connections to the people on the ground is because I focus mostly on the nobility here. I don't necessarily have the most access to that. So I appreciate what you can offer.
We can also put it into the to the sermons.
Absolutely.
To have the parishioners volunteer their time as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would like to see, I'm not going to tell you how to manage your interests, but I would like to see there be more conjunction between yours and Gwen's interests. I believe it will lead to more stable management of the religious district, if the two can align. I know there are some of our faith, Miguel, because I converted, okay? I am of the same faith, that believe that the pagans are heretics, are evil, but they are not. They are just human beings trying to survive, as all human beings do.
I am aware, and I have attempted to steer any teachings in that we are all people first, and that we are all...
The greatest law of all is to love thy neighbor.
Yes, exactly. I will reach out to Gwen to see if there's anything I can do to help facilitate this as well.
Excellent. If I can be of any assistance, I know our interests don't often correspond, but if I can be of any assistance, please do let me know.
Of course.
Be well.
Good night. And he will head off. On his way over to where... does he have a sense that Gwen is still in the keep, or...
You know that Gwen was making plans to train with Augustine, so you'll be able to find her. It's a rather large chamber that you all have decided is a perfect place to do combat training. You've had things moved in there, the standard kind of dummies that the soldiers train against, and various other things. And as you're heading that way, we're actually flashing over to Augustine and Peregrine. And since Augustine is the one giving the training, I'm going to let Augustine describe what he's using as training materials this time.
Well, I don't want to eat up any of the metal in the blade, so we're using wooden practice swords. And I have set up 3, like a little trio, a little triangle of dummies, each with a shadow tentacle, some low light. All the torches are set out, maybe 2 at the most, so that it's dark. It gives us the best scenario for my kind of gifts, and it is just a clacking of one sword against another as I try to create a rhythm from each of the attacks. So a tentacle will fly high, one will fly low, one will go for the midsection, and then at the same time, another one will come from nowhere. And I will try to create pockets of darkness and give her avenues that look like she could use them to get some light to help her, and then take it away as quickly as possible.
So the training goes on.
And she'll move as he's doing stuff. She does have celerity of 2, and with her melee skills, she will be actively combating this as if it was any other training to survive, and taking it quite seriously.
Your speed is your asset. You have a gift that I have not yet figured out how to deal with. Use it. Again.
Okay, so I'm going here, and here. And she will do it and flip over.
I'm starting easy. Go. Again.
Easy. I did this when I was 40. Come on. Give me the harder stuff.
Sure. I enveloped the whole room in Nocturne.
Okay, so now she can't see at all.
Yep.
Heightened senses hearing.
You can hear.
Yep.
The way I do
Every-
with that one, you can see kind of about a foot in front of you, maybe that. It's just gray and dim when you use heightened senses. You can barely see in front of you, but you can amplify enough that it's, I mean, you don't see it until it's about to hit you kind of level.
She's got two wooden swords, so she'll do what she can to.
Yeah.
She wants to be in as much combat as she can to understand. And she'll go, if you're going to hit me, that's fine. I don't take any offense. This is how I'm learning. So do it.
I understand.
Go.
Use your speed.
Fast and hard.
You have
Go.
speed, I don't.
Mental notes on that one.
Yeah. And Nightshades comes up. Whole room.
Okay. And she'll start defending herself. And she'll start zipping about.
I'm going to try to force her into a trap so I can just tap her with the blunt of my blade.
Let's do it this way. Since you're going to try to force her into a trap, which is independent of the Nightshade's part. I think what we will do, let's get a good roll for this one would be wits. You're going to do a trap, but this is a combat thing. So I wouldn't do wits brawl. That won't work. Wits melee for Augustine. And for you, Gwen, you can do wits and you can do melee. You can do, I'm not going to use insight or empathy. You can do wits melee. You can do wits awareness. You can do
athletics.
You can even do wits melee if you want, or wits athletics. It's up to you.
Mine is 2 die because you don't have a ton of abrasion.
Yep. Actually, it's worse than
That's
that.
why I'm rousing wits.
It's worse than that. Nocturne.
He's worse.
Perception pools are reduced by 5 dice.
Oh my god!
So you're gonna lose
Then
5
I really
dice.
am rousing wits.
Yeah.
So shit.
God,
So I gotta kill 5 dice.
Sucks.
Oh, baby, we know how to use it.
That's why they nerfed it in V5.
They sure did.
And it's still strong.
Wow, I'm gonna willpower that.
Actually, you're right. She's got heightened senses. She only takes a 2 die penalty because heightened senses reduces it from 5 to 2.
I'm getting my 3 dice back. Give me a second then. Kind of around.
Yep. Reading the power.
Wow. 2 willpower points and no successes. So
So if I get 2 zeros, that's a crit, correct?
It's only a crit if you have a specialty that
Right,
applies.
because if I had the specialty
Otherwise,
and I don't have the specialty yet. Okay, then.
Otherwise, it's
That's
just
a 5.
success. 5? Even though you can't see, Fatima is your sire. You've been put through blindfold fights. You've been put through can't hear anything fights. And you've known Augustine a while now, long enough that you're anticipating a lot of what he does. And as you move about the room in this shadowy area, now Augustine can see it's his cloud. One of your shadow tentacles swipes at Peregrine, misses. She's dodging somehow, anticipating it, but smacks something else because Snatcher stumbles and is revealed that he's been leaning against one of the walls.
Bugger all.
I take my training seriously.
yeah, I'll drop all of the shadow play.
And she's just gently just whirling one of those swords in her hand, like, I take it seriously. If you're going to watch, make sure that you're not becoming a target. Sorry.
I was at the edge of the room.
I still sensed you.
Still
They're not
dangerous.
even physical. How do they...
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Phantoma removes everything. You are fighting in, like, you can't hear, you can't see nothing.
If you were standing in the doorway, you could have just taken a step back.
Well, I realize that now.
Never be in the room when shadows are being manipulated, my friend. It's dangerous.
Don't be in a room when I'm training. I might hit you.
There's
You're
that
lucky
too.
these are wooden.
Storyteller, do I actually have any loss to health levels at the moment?
No.
Okay, but it was still just enough to smack me out of Obfuscate.
You were
Great.
kind of shocked by the fact that it was so damn cold. You've not had Nocturne touch you. And it just kind of shocked you to the point where you gasped out, which would reveal everyone you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Yeah,
all
Snatcher
smoked
keeps
as much
repeatedly
today?
like rubbing his right shoulder.
It's okay. Don't worry. Put some, just put a little salve on it. It'll be fine.
It looks like this is good for tonight. We'll start again tomorrow.
Okay.
Your speed is your
Appreciate the help.
greatest asset. Understand this one.
No, I understand it clearly because I saw a bit of your tentacles coming towards me, so I dodged out of the way.
You saw mine. You might not see our associates.
No, that I agree with. I'll work on my celerity a bit more.
If you'll excuse me, I'll attend to Mario and see if Daniori needs any help with the rest of the guards.
I appreciate the help. Thank you, Augustine.
And I'll put the wooden swords back.
So now we have Snatcher, Peregrine, and Miguel in the room.
I hope I am not interrupting anything.
I was just watching.
No, he was training me because I have that sword he gave me. So I'm trying to learn how to fight against his clan's shadows.
Oh, I did have. It does sound like it'd be an interesting training. Oh, sorry.
It is. It's quite good, actually. Augustine's a good teacher.
It is unnerving if you do not know the powers of my clan. So
Definitely shaking out my right hand when you say that.
I'm not going to help you with, Miguel.
Peregrine, Elena tells me of your joint endeavor, a widow's home or an orphanage or both.
Bolgainist house.
I would like to kind of extend what I can to assist with that.
Okay, and what would that be?
I am moderately skilled at leatherworking, but there should any training be there.
Actually, I have some people that are interested in that.
It has been it has become painfully obvious and that while I have been attempting to give the message of loving thy neighbor, it hasn't always quite gone through with the Christians in this city. Perhaps this gives an opportunity to work side by side with and form a friendship between the religions.
We are always welcome and open to help. We many of the pagans turned around and assisted your quarter after the whole debacle. I think they're ready to fight and stand up for the, not only the city but their neighbours due to this, shall we say, pesky mage that's running around.
I think his presence highlighted a flaw that I had overlooked. So, of course, anything I can do to
Which flaw?
help. There are some of my religion who do not always get the love thy neighbor. And as first and foremost, while I do attempt to prevent those who will actively act for ill reasons, it appears that I had missed quite a few. Otherwise, so many wouldn't have been tempted by his words.
I also think judge not lest ye be judged was actually a pretty good phrase too. Or the golden rule of do unto others as I would do unto ye. I may not be a part of your faith, which I understand the beginnings of and the history of, because I'm writing the books for over close to 600 years. I don't understand why they're being so, what's the word for it? Militant and destructive, when all we've been doing is doing the best we can to be kind and help them.
I have spent most of my mortal life in Transylvania. My first introduction to religion was the church coming to collect from our family's farm and finding our funds insufficient. They gave me as a child, to serve with the army going off as part of the Crusades. I have hoped that my relationship with God and the way that I attempt to treat that is wrong, but that no person can be forced. They have to find that path on their own. But apparently, more than just talk is needed for some of the folks. So as I mentioned, if you need any assistance, I will be reaching out to the churches to bring, to lend a hand with the orphanage and the widow home, and offer whatever, seek volunteers to help with education and trades.
I understand your mortal way of getting into the religion. I was sold to the church when I was 7. I was told as a boy to be a scribe. I get it. I understand. Actions speak louder than words at times. I would be more than happy to take the help. I have actually several people that want to learn your lathe of working. So if I can send them to your stable, to where you would teach them, done and done. If you would like to bring if you want to bring your people over for us to teach them how to read and write the holy word, as you call it, I have no problem with that. I have many a scribe that's not only translating local words, but they're learning Latin as well. And I can teach Latin. And we've been trying to bring people into a more understanding of what they wish to believe in. So in the trade schools, we're writing the poems and the missives and such of the book, and we're exploring how they do it in art and illumination. But if they want to turn around and learn how to read and preach their own thing, I have no problem with that, as long as they understand that we have our own ways of doing things and we're happy to work together. I can do that. That's not a problem. Is that agreeable?
That is, of course, agreeable.
Tell me and teach. Tell us who you want us to teach, and we'll teach. And then in that way, we can then combine what we know and what we do. And then I can send people to teach you leatherworking, and I do know some people that are really good with song. Do you still do singing in your church?
Some,
Like a choir?
yes. There definitely are some who are in need of such lessons.
They are really good at it, and they'd like to. We taper to all kinds of shit. So to us, it's everyone's the same, but they like to sing your songs. If they can actually do that more in a professional manner,
Of course.
why not?
Yeah.
It's a holy book entertainment.
I will also, maybe I might not have the direct influence over the parishioners. I will ask that the word go out that parishioners who are seeking to live the word of God as charity and giving to others, that we'll see what other professions we may be able to help out with, arrange for other teachers for you.
I have a question. Your holy day is on Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
The Jewish are on Saturday.
Right. We have on Sunday night kind of like a whole community kind of dinner. And the unfortunate and the poor, we feed them. We don't eat ourselves. We feed them. And if your people would like to come in and then work with us,
Of course.
be more than happy.
Of course. I will see to it that the word gets out as soon as I can.
Yeah, we're throwing out different ideas. Somebody thought like a stew, like a stew stove, something. I thought of a soup kitchen. We're still working on it. But, it's the idea that counts.
Of course. Yes.
Pardon?
Yes, Natcher.
Please.
Miguel, for the ones that you are saying are not taking to your advice and teachings as well, perhaps instead of learning to love thy neighbor, they should be taught the education of a different aspect. Not to covet, and I could relieve some possessions, if you want.
Isn't that one of the laws? You kind of cover your neighbor's goods or your wife or their wife.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's. There's a lot that is in there.
Yeah, it was a big, huge thing about 10 Commandments and such.
Yes, it's the largest one. It itself is larger than the other 9. They get very specific. Not many of my parishioners haven't asked for their to covet, but yes.
But if
you would like a list of those who you feel need to be taught a lesson in not wanting, I'm sure that can be arranged.
As needed, of course. I don't wish to bankrupt any one specific area of the city, but sometimes a small loss of wealth can shake people, make them see things differently. At least that's what I tell myself.
Makes you realize what is really important.
Precisely.
I imagine you won't be going full Job on them, so...
no, there is no need. I believe God will punish them plenty on their own if they are to be punished.
But do we have enough salt for that? That's an idea. Sorry, I remember some stuff.
So long as it's not used on the earth, we need the soil.
I mean, fair, that's enough. That would be horrible in the crops.
I'm sure the local Bruja would find it particularly annoying.
Hold on, I think Karsh's is still falling.
Well, given how much they bring it up, you'd think it was.
It's not like we were alive for that one.
Something tells me they're never going to let it go. It will always be a spot of contention amongst Clan Bruja.
I heard from the sailors that call him a petty bitch.
I'm so glad that you have taken to using our training room as a place to air out your frustrations with Clan Bruja and to discuss all the women and leatherworking. This is a good use of this space.
It's verbal training, Augustine.
Verbal sparring is a sparring match, is it not?
With that, I will go my way.
Go ahead and throw a knife at me, then we're training.
Sport.
Excuse me, I have to find some flying creatures, and I will exit the room.
Snatcher, before you go, Marcus is expected back in the city in the next night.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I might ask, was there a particular aspect you were looking to learn?
It was brought upon by a bit of inspiration from my broodmate when Zelios put up a wall that spirits could not cross from either side. I don't know if it is able to learn something similar from a necromancer, but to control the dead's access to our world seems rather useful. If there is necromancy like that, that is what I would hope to learn from him.
It is not, but I am sure he would have a better touch on who in the area would. And we do have that connections to make that introduction.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So as this group goes about some business, flashing back to Elena, who's still in the war room. Elena, as you're in the war room, going through, and Sherazina's there, but you're going through the various documents, plans of the city, the things that you do, because one of the things you handle is the details of the castle.
And the rulership of this Serbian state.
The little nook where when you get letters delivered, if something comes for you all up in the castle, it's put inside of a little hole in the wall, and it always seems to fall down exactly where it's supposed to, which is this war room. A letter drops down in it, rolled up and sealed with a wax seal. You recognize it. It is a wax seal of one of the Basarab family, one of the Revenant families. And as you pick up this message, right here, everybody, we're going to go to break. So tune in, watch the break, listen to some good music, and when we come back, you'll find out what's in the message. See you in 10 minutes, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, you got to see a lot of what it means to do a joint rulership of a city of this size, where each person has their own individual interests that they maintain, but overall the coordination that goes in to manage a city as a whole when you've split up power this way. And it's working for him so far. Whether it'll hold the ages, who knows? Now, before we went to break, Elena got a letter, a missive. It is from the Basarab family. And she has used Sherazina's bloodline to foster contacts with that family throughout Transylvania, as that is a Revenant family all over the place.
Yeah.
At least in this era. Unfortunately, history isn't kind to them later.
No, it isn't.
So as you've gotten this letter and I've told you the contents of it, what is Elena going to do?
Her first reaction after she breaks the seal and reads through the brief but poignant missive is she looks at Sherazina and says, "That son of a whore."
Mistress?
For the past 30 years, Basilio has been destroying your family. Around Sofia.
What do you mean, my family?
The Basarabs.
That's surprising. 35 years.
30 or so.
30? That's a long time.
And now he is sending his child to help a Zamitsi in this city usurp us.
Well, he hasn't been targeting some of the others, or we would have heard about it by now. Let me make a roll for her real quick. Gotta roll some of her acumen on the situation, knowing what she knows. Not bad, not bad. That smells to me of paranoia. He's purging spies out of his city. Look, for most of the non-Zemitzi rulers of this land here, they don't trust us. They know.
Well, diplomats are usually spies.
I would be curious whether it's just my family or he's purging all of them.
From what I understand from this missive, there used to be significant presence around Sophia of multiple families. But the Basarab, exclusively in the past 30 years, he's begun to purge. And she hands the missive over to her to read as well.
She scans through it. It's possible that if the local Nez relied heavily upon them, purging them would weaken
Their influence
in the city. It smacks of desperation.
But why is he assisting a Zamisi in this city?
If you have...
Why would any Zamitsi want to work with him if he is doing this?
It's not their servants. If he has spoiled the relations with those around him,
he might be looking to branch out.
The voivode that is in his area, he would seek allies from outside. My knowledge of how this all works, everyone wants to be upwardly mobile.
Of course.
So the local Nez, if there's opportunity, would seize it.
Of course.
Perhaps he's building allies somewhere else.
Such as here, with a Zamitsi trying to usurp us. I have a solution for that. And she takes out her paper and quill and begins to write a missive to Basilo of Sevilla.
Okay. Okay. You're writing out a missive. And we will leave that to be discovered at another point. Peregrine has wandered off at this point. She's doing her thing. Augustine, Mario comes up to you as you were heading off, because you were supposed to meet him anyway.
I look around to make sure nobody's around us.
Tom De La Cruz. Have you seen Mistress Peregrine?
She is around. Is there anything that I can help you with, Mario?
Yes, there's a... Volca is at the gate to see her, and she will not enter the city unless invited. You've heard that name come up before. That's one of the... It's a Zamitsi Nez in the area, one that Peregrine has had dealings with before.
I'm going to look around, make sure nobody's with us, and then I'll pull the shadows around us. Mario, I will go look for Gwen. I did want to warn you, not to warn you, I wanted to, and I'll put one hand on his face and kind of let it slide down onto his shoulder. I have asked Snatcher to send animals to watch over you, to help, just in case. These are dangerous times. Don't want anything to happen to you.
It's dangerous. We've been through dangerous before. I don't think I need a babysitter.
No, this is not someone to sit with you, my friend. You're a capable man. I've pained myself to make sure of this. But there are things that even I cannot stop. There are rungs that I cannot climb, and as such, there are favors that I must ask. I have done this for you. I just wanted to let you be aware that there will be a presence.
I may chafe at it, but as you wish.
I know. Warn Daniori that I am coming with Peregrine. Now we will see to this Voshka.
Of course.
We'll drop the shadows and go find Peregrine.
Okay. Where does he find Peregrine?
Probably coming back from the trade district. She's sent out the certain children to go get the Snatcher's man, sent other kids to Brother Miguel. So she's coming back to check on any information prior to probably going down to the docks.
So you locate her. Takes you a bit, but you locate her.
You are not an easy person to find when you don't want to be found, Gwen. There is someone at the gate asking for you.
Who's at the gate?
Volka.
Oh, yes.
One of the Nezes in the area. Were you expecting them?
Well, I didn't know they were able to come in, but, hey, why not? Do you want to come with me?
I mean, they don't. I would assume it'd be better safety in numbers. And they don't want to enter the city without permission. So I wish to see someone like that in person.
Okay. Come on with me.
Let's go.
As you
head over
to the gate, as you arrive there, Mario is waiting at the gate. And, I mean, it's dark. The gates are supposed to be closed, but they're not right now. He's just standing there. And on the other side of the gate, not crossing the boundary into the city, is a woman, of course, Peregrine recognizes. Dark hair. She's got rather loose-fitting traveler's clothes on. You've seen her wear various things, but she's obviously come a bit of a ways to get here tonight. Peregrine, I request permission to enter.
Your request is granted. Come on in.
Thank you. And then she will step across the line to step into the city. And the guard looks at her, looks at you, looks over at Augustine, looks at Mario, just shakes his head and closes it.
It's fine.
It's manners, dear. It's fine. How are you doing? You've been traveling to see.
Yes.
Decent for refreshments.
We got a message. If you would like to talk somewhere, we can talk privately. I don't think we need to talk here in the street.
This is my dear friend, Augustine de la Cruz.
And bow.
Honored to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
This is Volka.
Welcome to the city.
I've been here once or twice before. With permission.
Otherwise, you were very, very courteous about it. Why don't you come with us to the keep and we'll have a bit of a talk. Sound good?
Very well. And
grand.
Do you have Mario follow with you?
No. Him and Daniori, I have them do menial, easy tasks that shouldn't be dangerous.
Okay. So you all head to the keep. And while you're heading to the keep, she's looking around. There's been a rumor you have a problem with... No. Religious matters.
Oh. Those things are well sorted in water under the bridge by now.
Hopefully you dealt with him like we dealt with the last one that came through. We had
Do
one.
tell.
It had been about a month ago. One came through our village, causing problems. By the end of the night, he was flayed and hung from the poles. String
In
him
one
out.
night.
In one night, you are able to do that.
Now, yes, he walked in with his guards. Look, I may not be high up on the ladder here, but that is my village.
True. Very true.
And so
Come on,
I made sure it stays my village.
Oh, absolutely. Let's just say that person is a bit more trickier than your average person.
Well, I'm sure you will deal with him appropriately.
Naturally.
Yes. I don't think that he will be flayed in the streets, but he will be dealt with.
You should flay him. Flay him and so that all can see. Hang him at the gate so that all who come into, or you hang him at the docks. If you hang him at the docks, all the ships will see it. Word will spread, and they will think twice before showing up. No?
You are correct.
You know, Mr. De La Cruz's sister will really like you. Let's go and all meet her. Come on.
I've heard much about her.
Oh, I'm sure you have. She has a wee bit of a reputation.
And the rest of the way, it's small talk. She's talking. She doesn't really have a lot to share about because she's in a village. She's low on the hierarchy, but that's why she's sent to speak with you because, you know, there's there's certain protocol to be followed, as you could tell by her not entering your city.
Mm-hmm.
And you take her down to the, I assume the war room is the best place, or do you take her to a meeting hall that you have? You probably don't want her in the war room because she might see stuff.
No,
she
we
doesn't need to
have
see.
a more public meeting room.
Now, Miguel, while you were doing patrol, you see them come through the gate with this individual. You've seen this Zimitsi before at Copula's night. You don't really know much about her, but you've seen her. You recognize her as one of those who do attend Copula's night. She's ambitious. That's why she goes, even though she's low ranking, she shows up to Copula's night because she wants to prove that she understands what it means to be Zimitsi. But we're going to come back to you. Go ahead.
Of course. Miguel is on patrol. He has, been traveling through he's throughout the city. He's set up spots where he's left out food for ravens so that when he does go off on patrol, he can, it's not like this one bird is going off. It's, there's several ravens wherever he takes off from.
Very smart. We're going to come back to you because while we're getting to you, please give me perception alertness, and then we will come back to you. We flash back in as Peregrine has brought Volka to the meeting or the audience chamber where you meet new guests. And of course, the other three of you, Snatcher, where are you? Were you you were out dealing with your rats, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Sending rats, making sure a couple birds started watching Mario and all that.
Okay,
and then honestly, probably go check on the docks because that's where a lot of my employees end up.
So it's Augustine, Peregrine, and Elena meeting with Volka. You must be Elena.
I am. And you are Nez Volka.
Yes. I have been sent. Peregrine has asked. She's been inquiring about information.
Ah. Well, please, make yourself welcome.
I do like this place. It's a nice fortress.
Indeed.
I hope one day to have one of my own. I hope. But that's not what I was sent here about. You were curious. Is it free to speak in front of your friends?
It is.
You were curious about who might be laying claim to this city. Now, you must first be aware that though we are friends, we're not always free to share everything with you.
Agreed.
I have my suspicions, but if you can provide confirmation, that would be excellent.
The one that I suspect you're having a problem with is Arcadian, is his name. He's been in this city a while. He was most displeased with the previous rulers. Because he felt it was his. He approached us 4 months ago, looking for our assistance. Of course, we turned him down due to your current backing by Prince Radu, and as well as the efforts of your co-ruler. It's an odd way to speak of a city. Miguel.
Yes.
His efforts with dealing with the cupola problem. We did not feel that it was in our interest to assist. Now, personally, I would have warned you earlier before you asked, but it was decided the tenements to clan loyalty was to keep quiet until asked about it. But we've lended him no aid and no support.
Yes, that would be why he sought out aid within the city itself and even in Sofia.
Sophia?
Oh, yes.
It's funny you mentioned Sophia.
Yes, I hear there's a problem with Basarabs being purged there.
Oh, not just that. That fool that runs the city.
Basilio the bastard, yes.
Yes, Are you aware of why he ran the city and how he kept that city?
I must admit he wasn't important enough for me to be concerned with.
His position there was reliant solely upon Constantinople. And his contacts and influence he had held there.
That is so unfortunate for him.
Oh, he never learned that you cut a deal with Constantinople when it benefits you, but make sure you can wash your hands of them when their delusions of grandeur ultimately collapse.
Yes, when the city was sacked, a lot of his support faded, which has led to a protracted struggle between him and, I dare say, most of the Voivode. They are all not happy with him now. He holds his city through luck, I suspect.
Oh, it is not luck. It is deception and subterfuge.
He plays a mean game. Dama Volka, if I may ask, do the Nez have someone that they would like to replace Basilio with already, or is this not something that they have thought about?
I wouldn't know. They wouldn't tell me. I would love to be the one to replace him.
Would you?
But
I mean, you have proven that you can take out an inquisitor in your own city in one night.
no, it's not hard when it's not even a city. It's not nearly this size. It's an oversized village. But it is mine, and the people know who rules that city. It's very easy to take one out when the people welcome him into their arms, welcome him into their homes, and then poison him so that I can flay him.
How ingenious.
Well, the secret is they should be worried more about what is in this life and can happen to them and those they hold true, rather than what will happen in the afterlife some things are more important, I think.
Indeed.
So if you are having troubles with the Spacilio, you may be able to find friends. Not around here, of course, to go against him because we are far from him. But I'm sure if your friend Miguel were to ask from some of those who had participated with him, one closer to him would turn up the pressure.
Excellent. Excellent.
Fantastic.
If you squeeze hard enough, he'll be like a fig that has gone rotten.
I assume that this trade route flows both ways. So if Miguel were to, say, invite the observation of your abilities to the Nezes, this would be beneficial to you, yes?
Oh, yes. This is a land of duty and obligation. It may not get me control of the city, but it will help.
Stepping stones.
Yes, there are those I am beholden to who are, again, beholden to others.
All things in time, Nezvolka.
Yes. The long game.
Exactly.
When you have eternity.
It is nothing but long games, and immediate issues are nothing but mere distractions to be brushed aside.
And I'm not like those rabble who speak of throwing over the old ways.
Nah.
Speak of the elders not giving your due nothing.
You must earn it.
You must earn it or take it.
Exactly.
It's the only way.
And if you take it, you must hold it.
Only
All
yours.
sheep need a shepherd, my friend.
Right. I hope that information I've given you will be useful.
It will be very beneficial, and you are welcome to parley with us any time of need.
As I said, I was sent by those who hold the position over me. Peregrine and I have a working relationship.
We will be able to put this to use, and favor will be owed to you, Volka.
Of course.
If you need anything from me, you know all you have to do is ask.
Yeah. I'm sure once we get through the winter, we'll see. The rains and the winds had made harvest this year difficult. I may need help before then.
I've already set aside several, I want to say about 50 or so sacks of grain for you.
That would be
And I'm
helpful.
cycling through. If you needed me to send some now, I can do it, no problem.
Though I rule with my iron fist in my town, it is important that I take care of their needs like any lord should.
Absolutely.
It is good that you keep that to heart. It is important.
This is our land, and though you rule here, the one who spoke in your favor is valued enough, and to be honest, he was owed enough favors that he could do it. We respect that. But what point is it to be lord of the land if you do not protect the people that are yours?
Exactly.
Get you some good grain. And you know what? I think we may have maybe found a wee bit of extra spice I can send with you. Tell us, tasting the food a bit better for your people.
Perfect. I do thank you.
Of course.
Absolutely. I'll have it sent over. They'll start walking tomorrow night. Is that okay for you?
That is fine.
Perfect. And I'll make sure that I get extra grain for you for the winter.
That should do them well. I was worried they were going to have to eat the horses again.
If you come to me, I will secure things for you quickly and safely.
Speaking of, do you wish to return to your town tonight, or would you be able to stay?
Do you require hospitality?
If you are offering hospitality, I will stay a night to rest.
It's the least you can do.
Please.
I agree.
Do you require refreshment?
No, I am fine. I fed on the way here.
Excellent. Be at ease and make yourself comfortable. Peregrine, could you please show her to her suite?
Oh, of course, no problem. She'll be by me.
Okay. And the two of you head out of there. Miguel, what did you get on your roll?
Does the attentive specialty apply?
Yes.
Since I don't need the shape, with heightened senses, that's going to be 8 successes then.
Okay. Yeah, does Elena and Augustine need to talk before we go to Miguel's scene?
I think you can do Miguel first.
I would like to say one thing to Augustine before we transition.
Oh yeah, I close the doors and I bring up shadows outside to make sure everybody knows.
Do not disturb.
Mm-hmm.
The shadow twins are talking.
Yep.
Augustine, I wish to say something to you. Due to this prophecy, we have no knowledge of what may happen over coming nights.
Correct.
I fully expect that we both will survive. It is who we are.
Be difficult.
But I want you to know that I appreciate you by my side. I know eventually being in my shadow will be too much for you to bear, and you will strike out on your own. But
Elena, if I have learned anything from you, it is that even if I am in someone's shadow, I am the one that controls it.
Indeed. But I understand that likely one night in the future you will strike out on your own. And you will have my support.
It is appreciated. Unlike our newest addition, I feel as though should the time come that you require my assistance, it should go without saying that it will be given.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. As of right now, see to your people. Ensure they are safe. Ensure you are safe.
I will.
But I wanted you to know that. It was probably the only good thing our sire has ever done.
It is a short list.
Indeed. I have plans for him long term too. But anyway.
Long live the queen.
Yeah.
And I'll bring down the shadows.
Miguel, you saw Volca, who you recognized with Peregrine and Augustine, as they came through the gate. 8 successes. Very well done. It's only half an hour later that you notice that the gates are opening again. And a man in its travel worn, it can tell it's got the road dust on it. Noble's garb comes through the gate. They're not supposed to open the gate for anyone, but he comes in the gate. And as they close it, 8 successes. You get a little closer and you see him say something to the 2 guards. And with that many successes, I will let you know that you can tell by their glazed over eyes that he just wiped their memory as he came through the gate.
Is the bird, that Snatcher has watching Mario there?
Mario and the other guard had moved off from the gate to do rounds. They had they claimed they're doing rounds. They had their own thing to go do. Team building exercises.
You're never far from a rat in this city, if that helps.
Yes. But you can find rats everywhere in the city. Yes, Snatcher's got them at all the key strategic places. I would imagine by now you've arranged certain places where Snatcher always has rats waiting.
No. So the fun thing about animalism is I can still communicate as a raven to a rat. And I will inform Snatcher to tell him to go get Snatcher and to send word up to the keep. How well do I know Volca?
You've not personally, you know that. I mean, you know of her and have seen her participate. She's not a bad fighter for sure.
As it is a clan discipline, would I be aware of her having animalism?
Now, you haven't seen her use it. But Cupolas Knight don't use a lot of animalism, to be fair.
Yeah, well, in that case, I will and also have the rat inform Snatcher that the rest of the coterie has a guest in the keep, I would assume, the receiving conference room that we have.
And you continue to follow this guy, right?
Yeah, trying to get a peg on him. So he is traveling alone.
Yes.
Without much fanfare.
And he seems to be setting off towards the fortress area. Though he's not striding, he's obviously trying to not draw much attention to himself. 8 successes. He can't evade you. He's doing a good job of not looking furtive, but he's not fooling you.
Is he traveling in a manner that I'm going to make the assumption that he is traveling alone, he's dirty, and we know that Basilia was sending a child. So it's probably not a Ventru. That I'm watching.
Really tell.
I'm gonna try to get a vibe check on him.
Okay. Go ahead.
Remember what that roll is. Spare me just a moment.
Let's see. Good vibe check on him. You going to use Read the Soul?
I am.
Okay. So it's perception, empathy, difficulty is 8.
Cheat. There we go. That is 3 successes. Assuming heightened senses doesn't count for this.
No.
Okay. 3 successes.
Color patterns. Okay, I'm looking through. There's definitely a black aura.
Black aura or veins?
Just black. As the primary one. He's definitely, it's a pale color, so you know it's a vampire. 100%. And I'm also going to put in there, there's an odd bit of a dark greenish color to it.
Okay. So he's getting just kind of watching him, trying to get a, we have a good idea of where he's going. This seems odd for someone who is sent on a diplomatic mission to arrive unannounced and enter the city without notice. So he's going to kind of keep an eye on it, keep it close, and keep in what we will call dropping distance.
Okay. And as the Snatcher is going to warn everybody, you follow this man as he gets close to the fortress, and he settles in a spot where he can watch the obvious, like any good fortress. There's only one path up to it, where it sets higher up on the hill or up on the bluff. He's watching the road that leads to it. Now, obviously, he doesn't know your city that well because you all don't use that road to get in and out. You have other ways, but he wouldn't know that. And he set himself in a spot where he can watch it but not be obtrusive as he's watching the road that leads up to the fortress. And as you're watching him, we're going to flash over to Snatcher, who has gotten a message.
I'll
just
go ahead.
Just real quick. So, Brother Miguel's going to sit on a rooftop watching him, and we'll try to command a bird to go to a spot in the keep where, when Snatcher arrives, they can relay the location.
Okay. Well, you do have, there's a single fireplace down in your level that the bird can probably fly down into and can be perched waiting when Snatcher goes down in it. You don't have many fireplaces. Zelios isn't stupid, going to fill them through places, but Zelios.
I guess if there's a window at the conference room that they use,
no windows. You're in the labyrinth part.
I figured
it is underground.
So I figured, it's not going to be a great way to try to get him to go all the way to the conference room, but a way that spot where Snatcher would see it on the way, so that I can relay that information.
And we'll say Snatcher gets that information. That guy's watching settled in now for Miguel. Miguel's not far from him. The guy doesn't even seem to be looking at the birds of the night. Plus, Miguel's not a normal bird. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't call. He doesn't make any noise. He just settles and stands there still because he doesn't have a bird's instincts. He just looks like a bird. You're close enough that at any point you could surprise him. Snatcher, you get the information. I assume you're going to run about the place and let everybody know?
Actually, I'm just going to write the same letter with the same information 3 separate times and then have rats deliver those letters to my comrades while I go obfuscate and go to find this guy that Miguel has just told me about.
Okay. So they use the
rat network.
The rat tunnels that are...
Yep.
Zelios, you've got to understand, Zelios is an Nosferatu. He thinks of animal messengers because...
Yes. Because it's brilliant.
It's part of his design.
You fucking have to as a Nosferatu.
Otherwise, it's design.
It's the worldwide rat.
Yep.
It's the worldwide.
So each of you get brought a little letter that's in a rat's mouth that drops it at your feet.
Totally. This is normal. This happens every night. Yeah.
It's a Tuesday, right after time.
And I open up the little scroll and I'm like, all right. And then she meets up with the other two in the hallway. Mm-hmm. Looks like we need to teach people some manners. Shall we make an example? I believe so.
Never quiet a night.
There's also
a hidden person behind y'all.
Sure.
As part of all of your letters, it says, "Do come quick, or I will, or I potentially will have ruined the fun."
As she comments, holding the little note, she's like, "He's coming along so well, isn't he?"
He is really good. All right, now turn around so I can disappear.
At some point. Is that what they thumb at me, sir?
and we head out with
you all head out. Miguel, he doesn't seem to be moving. He is still just watching the place. By the stillness he's doing, this is not a young kindred. They've obviously gone past the nervous tics that remain for a younger Cainite. A younger Cainite tends to still have a lot of human shuffling and nervous tics. This individual just stands rock still watching. So he must be an older kindred or Cainite. It's hard to have it to braid, isn't it? An older Cainite. And Snatcher, you get to where you can see the guy. He's standing rock still, doesn't seem to notice you.
I'm gonna slowly sidle up near him, not within like striking range of any fists or anything like that, but just get close enough that if I spoke, he could hear me.
Okay.
And then I will turn, cross my arms, and break obfuscate for him by saying, "We prefer if there's introductions into our city, sir."
And the man doesn't jump, but he whirls to face you. Aren't you an impudent little pup? I didn't know they let your kind speak in this city.
I am one of the ones running this city, sir. You'll show me the respect that is due.
You rule this city because we let you.
Because Radu has faith that we can.
Because Radu is on the Council of Ashes, what is left of it. We put him there. I am Wilhelm of the Hungarian Ventru. You will not impede me.
Ventru. That explains much.
I imagine we are arriving not from the direction he expected at this time, so we're coming up behind him and say, "Really, without an entourage? That's bold."
You wouldn't dare. I don't need an entourage. This city was given a prince by the Council of Ashes. This city had the prince removed. Prince Radu gave you the city with the permission of the Council of Ashes, a council that we formed.
Are you a member?
I am one of the Hungarian Ventru.
That does not mean you are a member.
I am one of those who helped create the council.
Excellent.
I don't have to be a member.
So
The
you would
council.
know, you would know, what is it? The noblesse, the hospitality, the rules of proper civilization. And yet you just slash them aside as if they are nothing.
They are nothing. You rule because we let you rule.
That'll be fun. Your arrogance does you no service.
And your foolishness and recklessness does you none.
Recklessness.
Then why are you here?
That is my business.
Why
is your
are you
business.
staring at our keep and not introducing yourself?
As I said, I don't have to.
You behave like a bruja.
Well, this is going to quickly degenerate, isn't it?
Hey, it's not often you
Elena
get to
said
see
she was
Ventru
going to
frenzy.
make an example this night.
We did start with that conversation.
Okay.
Look,
Miguel's
if he
lifted
just
off and
announced,
circling.
if he announced himself, we would not have been this antagonistic.
Nope.
Let me pull
Everything
up.
starts at like the traditions. Like if you're not,
You
willing to
know,
hold
there's
up.
a reason why none of the Zamitsi like the Hungarian Ventru.
Exactly.
yeah.
And well, Elena was a ghoul to a Zamitsi that did not like the Hungarian Ventru.
And most of the coterie was just given a prime example of what a Tsamisi, whose rule is brought under question, does.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miguel,
Who
you've
is-
been watching closely, waiting.
Who is sleeping there? So
Snatcher is there. The rest are a little bit a little bit further back. Snatcher or Miguel, give me. I just want to see how well you can react to this. Give me. You don't have celerity. Meh, that's not as needed. Let's go with dexterity. We'll go dexterity alertness. That's an
I
odd
will say,
combination, isn't it? Dexterity alertness. Go ahead, Barry.
I will say that Peregrine is obfuscated, and being that this venture is heavily distracted, she has made her way behind him. Her blades are out.
Actually, when you started to get closer, his eyes looked right at you.
Good.
He saw you
I'm glad.
through your obfuscate.
That's fine. He knows I'm there. I have blades out, and if I need to, I will put Scorpion's touch on a blade.
So that means he can't see me and obfuscate, or he just was ignoring me and whirled to play up that he couldn't see me.
Or he wouldn't have whirled.
God, what
Gives
a
you an
putz.
idea of how many dots he has now, doesn't it?
Vaguely.
Does the
Oh, he's so dominate heavy.
Uh-huh.
does the precise specialty count in this situation?
Sure.
He got some fortitude, so he gonna be
Okay,
tough.
then that is going to
but
be 3 successes.
You see him, Miguel, after she called him a bruja, as his muscles tense and he starts to leap towards her.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I will let Miguel get in action before he does anything.
Okay.
I'm going to swoop down, and as I'm getting close, shift into form to out of bird form and into. Can I shift right into wolf form?
I normally let you.
We call this the lupine.
I mean,
tackle.
you could do wolf. There's also other forms you could use that are native to this area. Bear is quite useful when you're landing on somebody.
Oh, if we're going to be that free with it, yes, I will go with bear then.
Humpback whale.
No, that wouldn't work.
Turn into
Gotta
a camel.
be within relative size of.
Just rattle him. He would expect a camel.
That's 6 dots in protein, or I think 7. We can do a humpback whale.
Oh fuck, that would be so stupidly useful if you could do that
as
shit.
he goes to leap, let's go with what do you want to roll for this to see if you can land on him? What do you think works? Dex athletics, maybe? Dex brawl?
Brawl, because he's kind of like he's pouncing on him like a bear jumping on someone.
Okay, Dex brawl.
If he does, all right.
That's difficulty 6, like all attack rolls.
Yep, just. I do get hungry doing this.
Okay.
Shit,
Now,
don't worry about that. We'll have a feast when this is over.
He doesn't know you're coming. I'm only giving him 1 success on the defense roll.
That's the precise specialty count.
Well, you're trying to precisely land on his ass?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right, so the specialty makes that 2, 4.
When he
6,
was lashing out
7.
at Elena, was this Ventru frenzied, or is he just pissed because
he
he was
just
compared
frenzied.
to a bruja?
He just frenzied.
He just frenzied.
Okay, cool. Then no holds barred. We're fine. Cool.
You had 7, you said?
7, yeah.
Yeah. You all see this bird come down off the wall, and then it kind of shifts into, I mean, it's not a huge bear because there's weight limits until you get higher level powers, but it's still a bear. And land on this Wilhelm, driving him straight to the ground. I mean, this is basic physics at this point, everybody, inertia. And there's a bear standing on him as he is on the ground struggling to try to get free.
It's a terrible place to be with all these shadows.
Elena legit looks down at this frenzying Ventru pinned down by a bear. Was I wrong?
Does anyone... Oh, wait. I'm going to reach into my belt and take out a steak.
Peregrine's got her, has a dagger. She'll put it right to his back, and she's got poison on it.
I'm not good with anatomy. Where do I stab this?
Right there.
I don't want to hit the bear.
No. That's where his heart is. Go. There's his rib. That's his third rib.
You've got him pinned. There are 5 of you. Well, 4 and a bear. I'm not going to make him roll to try to subdue him. This is not a fair.
He gets fucking staked.
Yep.
Yeah. This is not a fair confrontation.
If you need the help, Miguel will use the bear claw and kind of
slice him open.
Just, not slice open, just remove the ribs that are covering.
He is
Perfect.
screaming.
Thank you, Miguel.
Hurling obscenities at Elena.
Mm-hmm. But was I wrong?
He is, she is the shadow whore. She is, he's going right down the list. I mean,
Yep. Oh.
She'll put her blade right against his mouth.
that's not going to stop Frenzy.
No, he's frenzied.
Yeah.
I know.
It's just hilarious.
I'm having
And
fun.
Elena's just laughing at all the insults he's slurring at her. She is laughing hysterically at this point.
And he stops when the stake is driven through. Well, he doesn't have a rib cage at that point, so it's pretty easy to find a heart.
Well, that'll shut him up.
I'm also then going to turn and look at Augustine. Could you make sure that any people nearby are going about their business?
Oh.
I
I
can
would hate
handle
for them
that.
to be scared. Thank you, both of you.
And so we go and
Yeah.
address
Please,
any
Please, just-
onlookers.
Get rid of the looky-loos. That's all Sinatra's asking.
Yeah, because dude's got his rib cage peeled back, laying in the street with a piece of wood in his heart.
We don't need our humans to see that shit.
Miguel's going to drag him over to the shadows that Augustine made,
Yeah, okay.
and then change out of the bear once he's in the shadows.
It's a bitch when a bear falls out of the sky on you people. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Pocket bear.
So you have him staked. What is your plan to do with him? Y'all want to have I'm going to let you all have a discussion what to do with him. Care for the Twitch TOS, please.
Yeah, there's some things that Elena would legit want to do that are against Twitch TOS and would get us demonetized on YouTube. So
The
just
two
saying,
words
spread
that come
eagle.
to mind are war crimes.
That just demonetized us right there. You said the
Just by
word.
saying it.
That encompasses, I think, the whole of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I believe we will make sure that he is properly addressed and then left out for the sun.
If he doesn't return, will they send more?
Maybe they'll learn to have manners.
If you want, I have a couple places that we could stow him until such time as we can offer a ransom of some sort.
I
If
don't
that
know
would be
if
easier.
anyone would pay for this filth.
Does
But
he have a sigil of some sort on him?
He's got a crest that looks like looks like a house crest.
Gwen, do you mind grabbing our guest and bringing her to see if perhaps they know this individual?
Of course. Let me go get her. And Gwen will go get her
Okay.
and bring her back.
Do you bring her back? Wait a minute. Do you bring her back or do you take the body to the...
Take
We'll-
the body
we'll take-
to the main
yeah.
area.
Yeah, let's be hospitable. Don't
Yeah.
bring them to issues. Bring issues
'Cause
to them.
I'm wondering how many people you're going to have
So-
gather around this body in the alley of your
No,
city.
no, we'll,
I mean, you
we'll
are
take him inside.
It's been taken inside.
Well, you are vampires too, and it's not like...
We clean up our
I'm-
mess.
I'm
Yeah.
also going to lift any valuables off of this venture.
Oh, he's
too.
got
I
a nice
expect that, yeah.
coin purse.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Also,
Does he have any?
Go ahead.
Does he have any like things that he's written?
Nope.
But he does have a crest. Okay.
when we take him inside, like I'll gauge where Snatcher is on his potence as I will happily break whatever resistance there is to me putting him in a chair. If you catch what I'm trying to put down.
Yeah, because they go you go rigid when you're...
Completely paralyzed. He's aware.
Well, yeah, he's aware,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a kindred who's been staked, rigor mortis almost sets in, so you have to break the joint.
Completely
why.
paralyzed. Yeah.
Can-
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it out loud just because I know
Yeah.
we're
So,
already.
Miguel is,
Towing the line.
I would imagine, he may have been staked once or twice before and is aware of this. And I'm going to say this as delicately as possible for, he is going to remove his ability to hear and see
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
with claws.
And is there a way to tell? I know that when they're able to move around, it's pretty easy to tell when someone's fucking frenzying. But is there a way to tell when they're staked if the frenzy will like fade or cool off?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Just making
Because
sure.
likely we take it out and he'll be frenzied again.
Yeah. Do
Until you
bring
pull
that
the
up, though?
stake out, he's a corpse.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just is aware of what's going on.
If you bring it up though, I think Gwen and Volka will come in to see me like using as much potence as I have to pull the fangs out of his mouth.
Got you a new set of earrings coming. Gotcha.
Just you know what? You bring
Pommel
up a good point.
decorations.
Let's cut the frenzy off at its source. I think
Yes,
he
that's
can't
a good
feed if he
idea.
has no way to puncture skin.
Gwen, you bring...
This is the person who decided to come in to our place unannounced.
And when Volka comes in the room, she looks at him and just busts out.
And legit, Elena at that point grabs the crest and rips it off of his fucking garment.
It was actually a sigil that was on a ring.
Oh, well, then she yanks the ring off his finger. She doesn't care if the finger breaks. Yeah.
That stupid little shit. You got Wilhelm, didn't you?
Oh, yes. He decided to camp in front of the fortress, watching without announcing that he was coming in. Miguel, did he also dominate our guards to get in the city?
He did, yes.
I'm sure he did, because he's a pompous ass. I told him
And
he was
then-
behaving like a bruja, and then he lost his absolute mind.
Which only proves your point further.
You know,
He
he
also had the gall to disrespect me within my own city.
You know, he is the one who put the previous ruler here.
Oh, well, that didn't work out too well.
The bruja who ruled before you that we removed.
Well, I'm sure he thought very highly of him, considering when I told him he was behaving like one, he went absolutely mad.
I don't think he did it because he liked the guy.
I'm sure he didn't.
I think he was surprised we didn't kill him sooner.
Now, Wilhelm, did your plans turn to ash, dear?
Now, seeing as how we are not Semitsi like you are, Dama Volka, I feel like it would behoove us to learn from you what to do with Wilhelm in this situation.
I was afraid he was following me or someone was following me. Unfortunately, I couldn't use my own abilities to find out because this is not my land. The land doesn't exactly listen to me when I ask here. A message to be sent. Well, considering if you destroy him, he'll fade to ash. But perhaps his hands sent back to Hungary? As long as you don't destroy him, the hands won't turn to ash yet.
I can hold on to him for a fortnight.
Be a lovely decoration on the wall.
And if you wait until you know for sure the hands have arrived and then kill him, they get to watch the hands turn to ash.
That was my thought.
I think they'll get the message.
Indeed.
Volka, do you know of any of your clan who have had particular issue with Wilhelm here?
All of us? He is one of the Hungarian Ventru. They claim they own these lands. They claim they have the right to put people in charge of our cities in our land.
He was ranting about founding the Council of Ash without being a member.
We let them exist because Radu, always the smart one he is, his position gives him insight, which he passes on to the rest of us.
Of course he does.
Dama Volka, would it be safe to say that if we entrusted you the information that Wilhelm Hill has been destroyed, that you would make sure that the Nezes that have wanted that would hear about this, yes?
Oh, of course.
I will ensure when we do destroy him that you are notified. With evidence.
I do. It would be lacking if I didn't warn you. He does have powerful friends. But so do you, of course. Master Miguel, I recognize you from our yearly trips in the mountain.
It is good to see you again.
Perhaps at some point we should talk further and know each other a little better.
I would like that very much.
Good. As what you do with him is your choice. I will make sure it's known that those who do not honor the word and laws of Cain, when they come into this land, pay the price. You know, Peregrine, how I feel about adhering to the rules set forth by Cain himself.
Aye, I do indeed.
When would you like to do the honors? And I'll point to the wrists.
Gwen will offer her knife or like dagger sword, yeah. A pointy thing.
Okay.
No, you, please.
To give you a little sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, Peregrine's giving the
No, this is your city. He is an interloper in your domain.
Understood.
It is for you as the lords of the city to administer the high justice.
Should we also take his feet in case he tries to get away?
Oh, he will not get away. Literally.
I have heard rumors of some who can get away while staked. Those damn usurpers.
Oh, then, Gwen, take his feet as well. Give the feet to our esteemed guest here.
He is not a usurper, so...
But that way you have your evidence when he is destroyed.
That's a good idea.
Because she leans down to Wilhelm's ear before Miguel does his duty with that and says, of course, you know you're not going to ever survive this.
He can't respond.
Mm-mm.
Maybe you might unstake him before you destroy him finally, or maybe not.
Oh, no. Why bother? She doesn't even want to hear his fucking petulant mouth.
But as these group of Cainites deliver the high justice in their city for those who violated the laws of Cain, we're going to end this episode right here. This group of Cainites said they wanted to make an example of somebody. Woe behold the next guy who tried shit in their city. And Miguel, with 8 successes, made sure he wasn't sneaking past jack shit.
And then he bared down on him.
Yeah. And
He bared down on
okay, I'm giving you the finger.
Sorry, that's stolen from a different show. My apologies.
I'd like to thank my players and the viewers, of course. XP, because we started off with botches and bad rolls, but ended with 8 successes, then 7 successes. I'm going to give everybody 4 XP.
Woo! Woo!
Reward the good rolls. You started off bad, you carried with it, you pushed through it anyway. Everyone can have 4 XP. Again, we're doing 800 years of history. 3 or 4 now is not going to change things by the end of this chronicle. You're just all going to be vampire gods by the end of it, which is the point. You think they're broken now. Just wait. And of course, thank you, viewers. This is the halfway point. You'll notice we didn't focus this time on the events of the Inquisitor. We needed to ease that tension off a little and show a little bit more about the intercoterie relationship and a little bit of how each of these Cainites deal with problems in their own way. And I hope you enjoyed that. Of course, pop over to our Discord. That's where this show came from. All of our shows come from the Discord. So if you see somebody on our channel, they're on our Discord. That's where we cast them for the show. We do Zoom Hangouts. We haven't done one lately, mainly because my brain has been tapioca pudding and probably will continue to be tapioca pudding, especially now that we're streaming 3 nights in a row. We'll get to that in a minute. But we're due for one. We need to do one probably this weekend because we haven't done one for a while. We'll see. If the spoons are there, we'll do them. If not, we'll have to wait one more weekend. We'll see. If you want to catch our back episodes, go to our YouTube. That's where the back episodes are. We'll see if I can get this one monetized. I've been lucky here lately where they've denied the monetization and I appealed it and they've loosened it.
I am a nurse in real life. I do not advocate of brutally, harming folks and murdering them.
Yes.
Okay?
Be aware, what you see in this stream is not us advocating violence.
It is a role play game.
It's a role play game. And
opinions expressed by the characters are not necessarily those of the players and
That's right.
storyteller.
Exactly.
And if they demonetized every game, every TTRPG that had any violence in it, none of the TTRPGs could be monetized.
Never be monetized.
Just saying. You want to see some amazing content creators? Check out our friends. 2 of them are right here at this table, but you'll get back to them. The RPG table down there, Junie. And of course, Ravnos Archon. Give them a follow. We'll let them talk about what they're doing when we get to them. You want to get some studio merch? We've got studio merch. We need to add some more, but if we don't have the spoons for a Zoom call, you think we have spoons to do artwork for new merchandise?
Fuck it.
I'm sorry to tell you, that's a lot of effort doing into that. And we don't make money on it. So it's done just for the players and for the viewers to have something. I know a couple people around here have got the Red Rockets for Gaia shirt and No Cowards Here shirt that we have, which is from our Werewolf games. If you want to give something to the players, bits and donations, they go to the players. It's a way for you, the viewer, to show a little appreciation for the hard work that we put into doing a show, because there's a lot of hard work that comes into this. It's not just us playing a game. It is us playing a game, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes to make it an interesting game. And before you ask, no, the players do not know what's going to happen in these episodes other than scenes that they've personally asked for. But even that takes coordination. So if you want to give to the studio, that's where you can subscribe on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video. Those drive up engagement. Or pop over to our coffee. You can buy us a coffee. It's a way to give to the studio where Twitch won't take half. Because they do. They're bastards. They're little pimps. And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife for the busy schedule we have.
All right. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight for this amazing session. And then tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Ravnos Archon here is running with myself and my husband Shanky as players at his table with Rev Ben Powers and Timber Brad at 8 p.m. Eastern, Old Gods of Appalachia. We are on session 3 out of 4 tomorrow night, so things are going to be ramping up. We met some no deer last time.
Not deer. They're not deer.
They're not deer. Not deer.
And you also got to see a bear or a bird jump out of a tree, turn to a bear onto some not deer.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So yeah, and Prudence did some really potent magic shit to secure her fucking home.
And old Joe is perfectly respectable. He's a lovable scamp, unlike Augustine.
It's great. So join us at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for that. And then Friday, the 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern, join us for the premiere of our new Modern Knights V5 Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Kansas City, A Domain Divided. That's right. You saw the promo at the beginning of the stream. We're doing it on Friday. Join us for that premiere.
It's finally time. We're finally getting this Kansas City game that we did auditions for back in
the
June.
Summer. Yeah.
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 Finally getting this started. June or July range, I think it was. Something like that. No,
Shout out
August.
to my husband for fixing fucking Fantasy Grounds because their latest update broke everything.
I managed to recover our characters off.
Like legit stuff that was in core modules that they provide was broken.
All the merits were gone, destroyed totally. Nothing there. A number of other parts were broken.
So shout out to my husband for fixing their fuck up. But yes. And then, of course, Saturday, I believe, is Tiss
is back. Yep.
So
you'll get to see your innie again.
Your innie, not your outie. It will be on Call of Cthulhu on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Join Tiss and her crew of investigators with a sus-ass your innie, not your outie, at 3 p.m. Saturday.
And he's playing another character that had a musician's name, and he got the fumble.
He didn't realize it, though.
Yeah, and he got the fumble this time. He rolled a perfect 100 for a fumble in Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. And then, of course, Sunday, we have our Windy City After Dark Marathon, RV5 VTM Chicago Chronicle that we have finished up, but we are running from the beginning to the end as a marathon where we stream anywhere between 3 to 5 episodes, depending on how long those episodes are, starting at noon on Sunday.
And
And
it should be 8, 9, 10, and maybe the intermission. It depends on how long it takes.
So we're basically wrapping up. Is it season 4?
Season 4, yep.
Yep, season 4. So there have already been some big changes in the core coterie, and new people are coming in, y'all.
Yep.
So yes.
Find out this Sunday why Lamar was gone. What happened to him when his the ghost of his wife crashed his car into the lake.
What is Jackie gonna do to Thea other than torture her by being staked and subjected to bright lights?
Yep, there's a double demonetization. We use the word torture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yep.
My bad. It is torture for a Setite, though, to be subjected to being staked and under bright lights.
And sunlighted.
Yeah. Thanks for the spoiler there. But yeah, so anyway, join us Sunday for that. Just have it on in the background. Tune in as you can because it is a stream that will last for a few hours, usually up till about 7 to 8 p.m. at night. And
no breaks.
No breaks.
Only
no
the first intro.
Only the first intro. Yep.
No
It's
outros.
It's
It's just
from one to the next to the next that day. And then, of course, we will be back here next week on Wednesday with season 2, episode 6 of Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages.
Yep. Halfway through, people. Now you've had a good win session and a good
and it's time for shit to get fucked up again.
Yeah, I let you ease the tension a little bit. Expect the tension to go right back up next episode.
Mm-hmm. But this is just going to fuel Elena to just destroy any fucking kindred that wants to talk trash at this point.
So now we're going to go around. Zach, tell everybody what you got going on.
Hello, I'm Zachary Naldra, he, him. I can be found at zachrules.com, which is my website. zachrules.com, now on the BS site as well. Still Zach Rules on the Dead Bird, and Zach Rules at dice.camp on the Ancient Elephant app. And for the foreseeable future, you will find me here. Sometime next month, I'll be on Roll20. I don't have dates for that yet, but if you follow me at one of those places, I'll probably announce it a lot when it comes up.
Yep, and check him out when he's on there once we find out. And if you're on our Discord, I'm sure when he finds out, he'll post it in the community content creators to let people know where he is, so you'll be able to check it that way. Junie, let everybody know what you got going on.
Saturday we're doing RPG again. Yay. I think we're on session 3 and we're going for Elysium. I will be on DC by nights at Roll Call on Sunday, and then you'll see me here again on Wednesday, and then next month, maybe, a Thursday or 2, I will be on the Ravenous Archon doing 7C again. Yay! Can't wait.
Once we've done the month of October and the spoopy old gods weird stuff we got going on with that great upstanding citizen, old Joe.
Of course.
Snatcher, I'm going to have you tell people what you got going on just because I like hearing you make up random things.
You all can find me currently on Cloud 9. I'm a Lowclan who just told a Ventru to respect my authority.
Yes,
That's so
you did.
good.
You need a wheelbarrow for those balls.
So good.
In the Dark Ages, no less.
A Nosferatu in the Dark Ages could say, "My city," and mean it.
Yeah.
Savor that.
Oh, man.
That's delicious.
Y'all, there's no greater high, I swear.
When we win, we fucking win.
Okay, wait a minute. Maddox saying no greater high. That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, I am a resident of the state of Colorado.
Yeah. And you should join our Discord.
That's everything you need to know.
You should join our Discord to join the Zoom hangouts we do from time to time, because he'll let you get a front row seat as he's being a citizen of Colorado.
Yes.
Yep. Ravenous Archon, let everybody know what you got going on.
Hi, everybody. I have my own channel here on Twitch where I do Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I do Werewolf of the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings. I also have a 7th Sea game that's happening that's taking a break as I tell a countdown to Halloween, a kind of spoopy ghost story of an old gods of Appalachia. little mini series. Because every time that I want to run a game, and I'm like, they're gonna say no. They're like, no, let's do it. And so this is one of those times where I was like, hey, I want to run this game. They're like, let's do it. So come out and see what's going on, and I'll see what new haints and boogers I can throw. I got 2 sessions to try and rattle your cages. So
won't rattle mine that easy. Just letting you know. And before I go into our mental health outro, I just want to point out to everybody, the goatee is gone. Now it's just straight beard without being a neck beard. Just straight. Look at that. See? I just wanted to point that out because I think it looks pretty good now that I've gotten rid of the goatee part. It's just straight, nice groomed
so
beard.
Handsome.
He is handsome.
So, and as always, everybody, when we end these streams, mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take your own mental health seriously. Take the mental health of other people seriously. Check in on those around you. Make sure they're okay. A lot of people aren't. There's a lot of fucked up shit going on in the world right now, and it takes a toll on people. And sometimes they just need that friendly voice to talk with them. And if you suffer from mental health issues, the first thing I want to tell you is it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you're struggling. We all struggle at some point in life, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that. And you shouldn't be afraid to share that. So if you're struggling, it's okay. And I'd want you to reach out to your own support network around you and talk to the people around you. But I know a lot of people don't feel they can do that, or they just don't have that. So in chats, list the numbers. You can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There'll be someone on the other end of the line to be that support lifeline you need. And if you're watching this on YouTube or you're not in the U.S., you can go to findahelpline.com and put in the country that you are located in, and you will find the support lines for your country so that you can get the help you need. Because mental health is health, and we want everyone to be around in the future, whether you're watching our stream or not. No one should have to suffer through mental health issues alone. And I'm saying this as somebody who has struggled at various points in my life with that. You shouldn't have to struggle alone. And I'll turn it over to my lovely wife over there as she got her pound of flesh tonight, literally.
Oh, not yet. She wants to drink him first.
No. As she gives whatever final word she has before we end the stream.
All right. Thank you, everyone, again. And please, yes, do take care of your mental well-being. And if someone asks you about your day, be honest. Tell them if you're having a rough day. Even if they don't fully understand what you're going through, they're giving you that space to talk about it, to vent, to dump. Do so. Please. It'll help. Empathy, man. Empathy's important, for real. And leading into that, please have empathy for yourself and for others, and get your freaking vaccines. Get your flu shot, get your COVID booster, for real. Get it done. No bullshit excuses. Go get it done. And make sure you are registered to vote. I know Ohio has stuff going on right now. Also, Virginia has stuff going on right now that needs to be voted on. Please do your diligence and vote in your local and state elections when called upon to do so, because that is important shit. Please.
Not enough people voting is why we have the shit show in the House right now.
Yeah. Exactly. So make sure you're also registered for next year's big election, because it is a presidential election, but it is also every seat in the House is up for election. So it's a big election. But in the meantime, make sure you do your duty, really, as a registered voter and citizen of this country, and vote. Make your fucking preferences heard through those ballots. Said with love.
Because if you didn't vote, you don't have a right to criticize anyone how they run this country, though you can still point and laugh at the idiots.
You can.
That's just a human thing.
Of course, you have the First Amendment freedom of speech that you can complain all you want, but it's useless complaining because you're not doing a goddamn thing to change it.
So I do thank everyone for coming. Thank you, players. Thank you, viewers. Good night.